My mum lives in your electorate, and I don't want her exposed to people who are not going to be vaccinated
listen to Robert
because of these crazy conspiracy theories that you're spreading.
So please, Tanya, please, stop spreading this misinformation.
With so much on the parliamentary agenda, it's surprising that the social media output of a maverick backbencher is sucking up so much oxygen.
Craig Kelly, the federal MP. I'm afraid he's gone a step too far today.
But the first sitting week of 2021 has increasingly been consumed by the utterings of the member for Hughes, Craig Kelly. The backbencher has a long history of being always available to spout views on a wide range of subjects. But it is his persistent interventions on COVID-19 that have finally brought the issue to a head.
The Prime Minister has been very supportive.
Kelly insists all he is doing is sharing alternative views. It is worth breaking down the material he is sharing and the specific claims he is amplifying in the midst of a global pandemic. He has claimed that getting children to wear masks is a form of child abuse, and he has consistently promoted two common drugs, ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine, the latter being famously boosted by former US President Trump. Australian health authorities do not recommend hydroxychloroquine and are reviewing the effectiveness of ivermectin.
You have to listen to our most highly respected immunologist in this country, Professor Robert Clancy, and he has said Craig Kelly is absolutely correct.
He's referring to Professor Robert Clancy, who does suggest these two drugs are useful therapies, but no replacement for vaccines. Which brings us to the most politically fraught question, whether Kelly is undermining public confidence in the upcoming vaccine rollout.
People now are going to think that, oh, ivermectin,
it was this appearance on a podcast hosted by anti-vaxxer and celebrity chef Pete Evans that drew a swift condemnation from the Royal Australian College of GPs, which said no one should be enabling Evans, least of all a member of the government.
When I see somebody, let's take Australia for an example, Scott Morrison, where they've done billion-dollar investments into vaccine manufacturing companies, is using the taxpayers' money to work with what I would call an illegal or criminal organisation.
Evans repeatedly raised doubts about the safety of COVID vaccines. Kelly never refutes these claims, but is careful not to repeat them either.
Now, the whole vaccines is a whole another debate. The federal government is not going to mandate vaccines.
He's also shared videos like this one, which pushes even more extreme and discredited anti-vaccine theories.
So if you get the vaccine, especially as a young person, you are more likely to die from side effects from the vaccine than you are to die from COVID.
Correct. It's called pathogenic priming.
His comments have been criticised by many in the medical community, including the Chief Medical Officer, Paul Kelly, no relation.
He needs to decide what is the appropriate thing for a Member of Parliament to be commenting on. I'm not going to talk further about this because it just gives prominence to views that I just don't agree with and are not scientifically based.
Yet the issue this week has become not what Craig Kelly is saying, but why the Prime Minister and his ministers have not been prepared to publicly rein him in on vaccines, even at a time when the government is spending $24 million of taxpayers' money trying to build public confidence in them. You don't go to Craig Kelly?
He's not my doctor and he's not yours.
By today, the issue had become one of the Prime Minister's authority. Yesterday, journalists were briefed that the PM was unhappy and had made his feelings known to Craig about Craig espousing medical advice. According to Kelly, though, the PM only asked him if he was an anti-vaxxer. Whatever was said, it didn't check Kelly's public utterances this morning, provoking more backgrounding that the PM had called Kelly into his office for a dressing down. Kelly subsequently released a statement.
I agreed to support the government's vaccine rollout, which has been endorsed by the medical experts.
After question time, Scott Morrison sought to put an end to the matter.
It is true that views expressed by the member for Hughes do not align with my views or the views of the advice that has been provided to me by the Chief Medical Officer. Earlier today, the member for Hughes and I discussed these matters, and I made it very clear that that was the view of me as Prime Minister and, of course, the views of the government. Vaccination is critical.
The question remains, though, why it took so long for the Prime Minister to act against one of his maverick MPs. It's certainly not due to a lack of political authority, and his tardiness has come even with the lessons to be observed from America about what happens when you let people peddle false information.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.